So it's been a hot minute since I made a video. We're just about ready to do hay season. We got to work on this tractor a little bit. Find out where the coolant's leaking. Only when it gets hot, it comes up. We're thinking the overflow hose might be clogged or something. So we put a new radiator in this tractor last fall. It should be alright. But for the most part, all the corn's up except in a few spots, but I'll show you that here in a little bit. We're in a 4450 and you can see we got front fenders on. 4960, we had to set the tires real narrow for spraying corn, and your fenders will decrease your able to turn when you get it real narrow, so we got to take them off for spraying. So we just threw them on this tractor, and this tractor already had the brackets, so just bolted them right on. It looks pretty damn good on this tractor. So instead of just letting the fenders sitting in the shed for a couple months or a month or two, we just threw them on here. Might just keep them on the whole summer. The 49 pretty much just gonna be on the sprayer all summer. We got all the corn sprayed. There's some spots I think we just sprayed too early before it rained. It never rained. You kind of need a rain to activate it. Yeah, so I think we got this cornfield here. There's some grass coming in back, but we'll just touch that up. It's more like along the edge, close to the hayfield. Now this tractor pulled in the shop. We'll be taking the hood off or looking underneath, see where the hell it's coming from. But we'll show you some crops. So we've been dry the last 2 months, really since the 1st of April. Easter night we got like an inch and a half. That was the last good rain. We had a couple tenths at the end of April, like a tenth or two, which it's all dried up, gone by freaking noon the next day. And last week we got 3 tenths. And last night we got 2 tenths. So we've really had 6 to 7 tenths since we planted corn like a month ago. And it's been windy and hot, you know, that just burns right off. We really could use even more rain than we got. But here's the first crop here. Now, this field and that field, when we seeded this, we put a little too much orchard in. So the stuff we seeded last year, we have some orchard in it, but nothing like this. This is just a little overboard, but there's plenty of alfalfa. I would walk out there, but there's water all over it. I'll get drenched. It's about waist high. This thing grew a lot just since yesterday, man. Wow. We like to cut for chopping right about when it buds, and then when you cut it, maybe you'll see a blossom here or there, but like you'll see like 1 or 2 blossoms as you cut the whole 10-acre field or whatever. But yeah, preferably you don't see a blossom for chopping because it's dairy hay. But we don't cut extremely early like some guys. Yeah, I know they're going for quality, but there's a point where you got to have some quantity too. Otherwise, you will have nothing to feed your cows, or you got to plant your entire farm in hay at the same time. So we kind of shoot the middle. We go for a little more quantity while not letting it get too far gone, I guess. So the orchard is headed out. It is pretty much headed out. Started to head out a couple days ago, and it's fully headed out. So it's Sunday today. We want to cut this Thursday so we can chop over the weekend. Chop Friday, Saturday. Hopefully be done by Sunday. We got 2 bags to do. Hopefully we can fill them. You know, last year and the year before we had a lot of winter kill. I don't know that we got any last winter at all. We could be making hay already if we did get more rain sooner, but what are you gonna do about it? We finally did get the rain, and it really is growing. Well, I think we'll have a better first crop than last year, but I think it could have even been better for it getting as warm as it did early, but pretty decent, really. I think it will be. Chopper's ready to go. Tractor obviously worked on. This tractor's ready to go. This spine almost ready to go. There's always a couple things. Last year you're like, okay, I need to fix that before we start, and then you get it ready a couple days before you start, and you're like, wow, I gotta fix that. So gotta get some parts for that. I'll show you what it is, but otherwise than that, otherwise it's ready to go. Tractor's ready to go, filled up, greased, everything's greased, ready to go. So we adjust how wide you want your windrow here in the back. There's a carriage bowl underneath, and then you got this handle. You can just slide it. This side, I already cut it off with the torch, but these threads were stripped out, and the carriage bolt was spinning, so you couldn't get it loose. You couldn't widen it up or anything, so I had to cut it off with the torch. Yeah. Chopper boxes, 2 of them ready to go, and there's another one we need a part for. Bagger, I think it's ready to go over there. But this wagon need a new pulley for that. And parts for these wagons are not cheap anymore. They just don't make them anymore. So what parts they still do make, they sure know what they want for them. Really, should just find a 714 or 716A junker wagon and use it for parts. So here's the corn, side corn. Let's see, we already got quite a few leaves out. Like, we got 1/4 inch rain last night, and I can hardly even make a mud ball. Definitely needed it. Could use more. This will be our silage field here. It's really growing. It's ahead, that's for sure. Looks pretty good actually, but needs more rain to keep going, because when it's hot, it sure dries out fast. So now we're in another hay field. This was fall seeded last fall. September 1st this was seeded. We chopped the corn at the end of August. Chisel plowed it, leveled it off, seeded alfalfa. No grass or nothing in this. This will be cut a lot later than the rest of our first crop. This will be the last stuff we cut. It's just slower at first, but it's almost knee tall. Thinking about 10th, 15th of June, cut this and round bale it. Unless we don't get enough silage to fill 2 bags over there. I sure hope we do. Be nice just to round bale it. But pretty impressive, really. There for a while this spring, they looked patchy, but it sure filled in really freaking good. Like this edge here, it ain't nothing like there, but this filled in amazing compared to what it did look like. Now it just looks pretty damn good. Now we're in the oat field here, which they look pretty good. These are kind of wet spots here, but when you get down into the better spot, here's what they look like. Damn weeds in there, but look at all the alfalfa. I've never seen the alfalfa like that in oats this early. Like, usually the oats just smoke the alfalfa, but here alfalfa is only a couple inches behind. I mean, I've never seen the alfalfa in the oats quite this good this early. Just crazy. Look at that. Real good. So there's a little crop update. They look alright now, or corn, but it could use some freaking rain. There's some spots that didn't work up to the best, lumpier, and them spots really need some rain. But if we could just get a nice inch of rain, there's a good chance of rain this afternoon, which last week we've missed every single chance of rain except one. If we could get a solid inch of rain, we'd be sitting pretty freaking good. But at the moment, running short on moisture.